Hey Void, how you doing? It's been a little bit, but here we go again. Okay, okay, okay. Where to start with this one? Gasper Noy. Yeah, that's if you know, you know. That could say something for it. But Irreversible. It's kind of an infamous movie at this point. Irreversible was 2007, I want to say. Yeah, no, 2002. It's even older than that. All right, 2002. And this one debuted at was it Cannes? Yeah, the Cannes Film Festival, where it was proudly portraying itself as the most walked out of movie in 2002. And I can see why. It's weird to find a film that's simultaneously completely depraved and very artistic, so it is a weird mix here. Thank you. Alright, so, Irreversible. It's essentially a rape revenge story at its heart. Essentially, a young woman, her boyfriend and ex-boyfriend, go to a party. She leaves early. The unthinkable happens. And then the two guys later see her being escorted to an ambulance and then proceed to hunt down the person who wronged her. It's a very straightforward, basic story. The catch is, we see this told backwards. It starts with the two men who we have no idea who they are, hunting down and beating a man to death. Then it proceeds to the scene immediately before that of them hunting him down. And then the scene before that of them finding out who he is. Then the scene before that is uh, they see a beaten woman, and you and that's what puts them on this. So it's kind of this thing that you keep getting piece by piece, and it's a weird film telling style. And all of it is pretty well done. It takes a little while to get into the flow of what the heck is happening, but the storytelling style does work for the most part. Okay, the infamous rape scene. This has got to be on camera one of the most uncomfortable and whole scenes that I've seen filmed, as it's nearly, well, like I said, it's over 10 minutes long, and it does not shy away. Apparently, they went to great care in filming it and were determined to. Essentially, the director himself had no idea how long this was going to go on, as most of the movie was done improvisationally. So essentially, it was up to the two actors on screen to how long they wanted to carry this on. And they carry it on. It is definitely unsettling. Very uncomfortable to watch. There are some problems I have with the film, though. Mostly the camera style. When they're at the club towards the end of the beginning of the. In the first scenes you see, the director seems to be swinging the camera around his head, as he's the one, like, apparently actively filming it, while they just. You have a problem focusing on anything of what's going on for the first chunk of the movie. The camera is constantly moving, constantly swinging about. And it is a little bit nauseating at first, but also makes it very hard to track who's who, what's going on, who's talking, why, and the sequences of it just swinging through areas go on for a while. The beginning is hard to get into. Once it does come to full dead stop during the rape scene, as the camera is essentially split for the point of view of laying on the floor. And after that, it does get more calm. So it's almost as if the drastic swinging is from the emotional state of everyone else around as being erratic and wild after the tragedy, But before, it is much more calm and a lot more straight-on shots. And while the camera does move around to follow characters, it's not nearly as hard to keep in mind who's who. It's a little odd getting to know who the characters are well after you've seen what they're doing. So it's an interesting premise. But for me, the movie it was only okay. And this everything seemed to be more holding it back than helping it for me. So, as Kevin says, time destroys everything. That part wasn't destroying this film, but the wild camera movements are making it hard to get used to who the characters are, why we should care about them, and some of them are kind of asinine throughout it. So you feel bad for the young lady who gets abused, but beyond that, it's hard to get into this one. I'm only going to be able to give Irreversible, I'll say 4 MacGuffins, and that's just being a little bit generous just because I did appreciate the artistic style it was trying to do, but this one's just not for me. Which is a shame because I went into this one knowing it was extreme and I wanted to give it a good review, but during the beginning I was almost falling asleep. Or the end, or whatever. So, 4 MacGuffins, and for me that's being a little generous here. But that's all I got on this one. Take it as you will.